Okay, let me just hold that there for a second. Hi. Yes, I know I look totally heinous with this nose cast on, but I don't care. I want to do this review anyway. This is Tiziana Terenzi Spirito Florentino, and I finally got mine from Scentbird, and I just got it when I got back from the beach like a week ago, and I should have done a review then, but anyway, cutting to the chase, let me just say I love this. I absolutely love this. I couldn't wait to get my nose on it. And yes, I can still smell right now. Um, because of all the different things I'd heard, of course, we've all heard how much it smells like Baccarat, Rouge 540. And it does, partially. And I'll get into that in a second. And then I've also heard reviews about how, like, beastly masculine it smells, amongst other things. Like, I've heard people say, like, super medicinal or rubbery, excuse me, it's hard to talk, or like burnt tires. I don't get any of that. I think most of the reviews, not all, most of the reviews that I saw were bogus to me compared to this is just a gorgeous smell. I actually prefer this to Baccarat myself on me. And I'm going to have to get a full bottle of it. It's gorgeous. So when I first got home from the beach like a week ago, I should have done the review then, but I'm trapped in my room resting, so I'm doing it now. I sprayed it on myself, and my eldest said, "Oh, is that Baccarat? That smells so good." But it's like really, she really brightened up because she liked this better, at least on my chemistry. Now, my youngest wears Baccarat, and it's amazing on my 21-year-old, but it doesn't have the same effect on me. This, however, has an awesome effect on me. So on my skin, this smells like a very sweet floral Baccarat Rouge 540. However, when I spray it on fabric is when I get some of those other notes that people talk about, namely the leather. So I have a little scarf here because I don't like wasting this stuff, especially before I get a bottle. And I'm going to use it on the scarf, so I could just put it in one of my drawers and put it to use. But I noticed that my initial spray had been on my skin, but I noticed later when I sprayed it on fabric that I got the leathery notes. So yes, on fabric, I definitely get a very good leather note. Not some, cheap like car freshener. No offense to anybody who has the leather car fresheners, but not some synthetic leather note. But this is just, it's a gorgeous, fresh, expensive leather note. And I get that on the fabric. However, I can tell you, excuse me, you guys, I'm so sorry. Not only am I healing from this nose surgery, the third one, but I think I also have like a cold, which is making it really hard to heal. I can see that from this leather note, that is where some people are maybe interpreting it as like a medicinal or plasticky type note. I happen to like the smell of certain plastics, but to me, this is just definitely an expensive leather smell. And also, just because I said this was sweet floral on my skin, guys, don't be dissuaded at all. Males or those who like male marketed fragrances. This is straight up unisex. Would be delicious on anybody. So yeah, I think people, because I like some of the reviews I read, people were like, "Oh, it reminds me of a dentist office, like the plastics and the machinery in a dentist office." They're confusing the leather smell, I think. This is a beautiful leather on the fabric. And although it's so similar, I put it on my skin now. Oh God, it's still got the leather on my skin too, but that is just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. This is stunning. I still do get the leather, probably partially because it got on the fabric. On my skin, it really pops on me a sweet floral. Um, sweet floral in the sense of unisex, though. The leather is so, and the saffron are so strong that yeah, I can see how people say, and ladies, or those who like ladies marketed perfume, don't be scared when you hear so many reviews of people saying it's a masculine version of Baccarat. I can see how people are saying that only because the leather note is so prominent, but it's so well blended that it's just pure unisex. And this is definitely its own thing. You can't replace one for the other. Even though there's strong similarities, particularly on the skin, um, this is definitely its own thing. I highly recommend it. I love it. I would love to smell this on anyone. The sillage, the projection, the longevity, true to Tiziana Terenzi, or my experience with Tiziana Terenzi, the longevity is excellent. Um, I could just smell this all day. So yeah, in a nutshell, I would ignore, if I were you, all these like kind of extremist reviews where they're just like, oh, it's so medicinal, or it's so, and although some people say that about Baccarat too, and I could see where they get it from, but it's never had that effect on me or on those wearing it around me. Um, don't be confused by people saying that things like it smells like burning tires. That's absurd. This is a gorgeous, stunning fragrance for men or women. Um, to me, this has more character than Baccarat, especially since everybody wears that. Just everybody, and not that there's anything wrong with that. But the leather in this, so let me just say, on Fragrantica, it says Spirito Florentino by Tiziana Terenzi is a floral, woody musk fragrance for women and men. Spirito Florentino was launched in 2019. The nose behind this fragrance is Paolo Terenzi. Top notes are, of course, saffron, orange, jasmine, and lily. Middle notes are ambergris, Ylang Ylang, lily of the valley, and magnolia. Base notes are leather, birch, precious woods, musk, oak moss, and sandalwood. I heard another, or I didn't hear, I read on Fragrantica somebody saying, oh, it's just another one of those saffron sandalwood smells. No, this is very unique. This is not just another anything. This has a lot of character. Um, I've also read where other people say it was linear. This is in no way linear on me. It does change, just like Kirke, which I love, changes on me. Um, and this, as I said, smells very different on my skin versus on fabric. So, you know, I almost get like two different effects. I'm saving this to where for when I wear it on night out with somebody, um, because I know it's a head turner, and people, it's just not typical. People will be like, "You smell really nice." You know, what are you wearing? That kind of thing. I just love it. I have nothing bad to say about it at all. It is not too masculine for women. It is not too feminine for men. It is got the Baccarat similarities, but it is its own thing. And the leather note in it is a fine leather note. And again, on my skin, it initially pops as it's described, like a sweet, floral, woody fragrance. But then the character just really comes out, and it dries down, just sweet, woody, leathery. Um, but the leather doesn't continue to, like, beat you over the head or anything. It's in the back seat, so to speak. Yeah, it's just, and the leather gives it like a cleanness too, I think. Kind of an expensiveness. I don't know, but it's really nice. So I just think a lot of the other reviews, there's nothing wrong with anybody's review, of course, because everybody has their own opinion. But I feel like, in my opinion, that they're too extreme about some of the oddball things that I've either heard or read. This is just exquisite. It's sweet, woody, floral, similarities to Baccarat. It's its own thing. The leather note is a fine leather note, and it's sweet, and it's totally unisex. So I hope that's helpful. I should probably do a better review of this, but since I am healing in my room, I just couldn't resist. I just said, okay, I'm going to do some fragrance reviews, and I finally got this one. And I'm looking forward to eventually getting a full-size bottle, for sure. One last thing for anybody who hasn't already heard, I'm just throwing this in there for those Baccarat lovers that still continue to ask. You know, there's always somebody new on the scene. I know you guys are not new on the scene, but or not most of you, but anybody who likes the Baccarat smell specifically, I say Baccarat, like generalizing, we all know what I'm talking about, but just doesn't have or doesn't want to spend the money. I still say that either get oil perfumery, which by the way, I'm angry with oil perfumery. Not only do they always take a long time to ship to me, I think they're coming from Canada, but the last time, months ago, I ordered from them their version of Atomic Rose, and it was weeks. And I had got that initial shipped message. Weeks went by, and I said, okay, what's going on? And they're just like, oh, well, we're out of stock. We'll refund your money. I'm like, wow, no word. And I paid, and I've been waiting all this time. And that's all. Anyhow, I'm sure I'll get over it, but I have a little grudge about that. So back to so either the oil perfumery dupe of that is, I think, pretty good of a dupe for $20, but also I think this is the best one, and this is the Rosewood Amore by Banana Republic. You can find this, you know, every now and again it pops up in Ross and TJ Maxx. You probably get it online. It's usually like $20-25. That, I think, is a good dupe. None of those, including Baccarat Rouge 540, can touch this. This is my personal preference. So I love this very much. That's it. Peace. Cover my face while I turn off my camera.